You're not audible.
No, Nikshay, you're not audible. Kindly wait.
He has to unmute himself. That's it.
Okay. Nikshay, unmute yourself, beta.
Ma'am, your voice is echoing.
Nikshay, can you try again? Nikshay, you can start now.
Am I audible now? Is it fine?
Yes, dear, you're audible.
Okay, ma'am.
Very well. Please go ahead.
Act as if everything depends on you. Trust as if everything depends on God. Honorable Principal, Father Dr. T.J. Jose Eshe, Vice Principal Mrs. Shobha Miranda, Coordinator of Academics Mr. A.K. Das, Coordinator of Activities Mrs. Casey Maya, Headmaster Father Brito, Father Manoj, Reverend Fathers, teachers, and my dear fellow Zavarians, a scintillating afternoon to you all. Today, I, Nikshay Sharma, welcome you all to this online quiz session 2021 to 22 on the life of St. Ignatius of Loyola and St. Francis Xavier, the founders of Society of Jesus, along with St. Peter Faber.
Snigdha Bhatt, you just have to unmute yourself. Carry on, Nikshay.
Although this COVID-19 pandemic has regretfully collided with our normal lifestyles and has confined us to a cage of precautions and safeguards, our life is gradually limping back to normal. Even though in this pandemic, we are confined to our homes, St. Xavier's has not restricted itself from conducting such spectacular events. Co-curricular activities at Xavier's during these tough times of pandemic still continue to enhance the Xaverian talent. Today, we all have gathered here to make this very event a successful one and undoubtedly to show our intellect and internal relation with God. Quizzes help students practice existing knowledge while stimulating interest in learning about new subject matter. They also help us to enhance our decision-making quality and experience while having fun. St. Ignatius of Loyola was a great influential figure who was known and respected for his missionary, educational, and charitable work. He was a person with unparalleled sagacity, and undoubtedly he had great devotion towards God. Francis Xavier was a Spanish Jesuit who was a companion of St. Ignatius of Loyola and lived as a Roman Catholic missionary. He was also one of the 7 members of the Jesuit order and traveled extensively to various countries to share his faith. Both the personalities are a true inspiration for all of us, and their teachings are a great blessing. We should try to follow their footsteps, and according to St. Ignatius of Loyola, choose what better leads to the deepening of God's life in us. Before beginning with today's program, let's pray to the Almighty to seek His blessings. So please join your hands and close your eyes for the prayer.
my heart has grown cold, there your love will unfold. As you open my eyes to the work of your hand, when I'm blind to my way, there your spirit will pray. As you open my eyes to the work of your hand, as you open my eyes to the work of your hand, oceans will pass, nations come at the whisper of your call. Hope will rise, glory show in my life, your will be done. Present suffering may pass, Lord, your mercy will last. As you open my eyes to the work of your hand, and my heart will find praise, I'll delight in your way. As you open my eyes to the work of your hand, as you open my eyes to the work of your hand, oceans will pass, nations come at the whisper of your call. Hope will rise, glory shine in my life, your will be done. Oceans will pass, nations come at the whisper of your call. Hope will rise, glory shine in my life, your will be done.
Ignatius was born Inigo Lopez de Loyola, the youngest son of a noble and wealthy family in the Castle Loyola in 1491. He later became a page in the service of a powerful relative in 1506 and then a knight in 1517. 20 May 2021 commemorates the 500th anniversary of St. Ignatius' injury during the Battle of Pamplona on 20 May 1521. While defending the citadel of Pamplona against French forces, St. Ignatius was seriously injured after being struck by a cannonball. This led to a long period of convalescence, which began his conversion and subsequent transformation to a soldier to a saint. Ignatius' dreams transferred from heroic feats on the battlefield to heroically serving the Christ.
Ignatius later went on to spread his belief to the entire world, and many schools and institutions were also established by the Jesuit order to help shape students' minds and hearts into a habit of reaching out to the needs of today's and tomorrow's global society, and in the process, reaching out to God. Hence, starting from May 2021 until the end of July 2022, we shall be celebrating the Ignatian Year to remember the life of St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits.
During this year, themed to see all things new in Christ, the Jesuits will also mark the 400th anniversary of the canonization, that is, the declaration of a deceased person as an officially recognized saint of St. Ignatius and St. Francis Xavier on 12th of March 2022.
The Ignatian year, considered from a spiritual perspective, gives us the opportunity to highlight one of the four apostolic preferences of the Society of Jesus, which is to show the way to God. It also encourages everyone to draw inspiration from the example of St. Ignatius and his inner struggle to conversion, which led him to a close familiarity with God. This familiarity, in turn, led him to find God in all things and to see all things new in Christ.
The main purpose of today's quiz is to help students understand the life of St. Ignatius of Loyola and St. Francis Xavier and build up their understanding on their beliefs and lessons learned from them. Without much delay, let's start with the competition. We would now like to apprise you with the rules of today's competition. The competition is divided into 4 rounds. Participants from each section will participate in round 1 and 2, and the next 3 participants will participate in round 3 and 4 respectively.
Each team will be given 10 seconds to answer each question. There will be a bell after 10 seconds.
There will be no negative marking. Each 3 question carries 10 marks.
The decision of the quiz master will be final and binding. All the rounds will have the same rules. Your answer must be in maximum 20 words.
Let's begin with today's competition. The first round is Know the Saints. Each team would have to answer 2 questions in this round. Participants can mutually decide who is going to answer. Only the first answer given by the team will be considered. Any response that the quizzer cites must be correct. This means the participant must give the most accurate answer or the answer will be disqualified. Now we invite participants of class 9A, Avni Gupta, Snigdha Bhadoria, and Archit Mathur. Team A, your first question is, name the place where the sacred relics of Francis Xavier are kept in India.
Jesus.
Can you please repeat? Your time is up. Team A, your second question is, what was the cause of death of Francis Xavier?
Natural death.
Pardon?
Natural death.
Incorrect answer.
Thank you, class 9th A. Now I would like to invite the participants of class 9B, Avika Singh, Shreya Singh, and Lalona K. Biju. I request all the other participants to close their cameras. Team A, your first question is, who was Ignatius of Loyola?
He was a Spanish Catholic priest.
Your answer is correct. Team A. We'll continue now. Team A, your second question is, when is the feast of Ignatius of Loyola celebrated? You're not audible.
31 July.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, class 9B. Now I invite the participants of class 9C, Jatin Passi, Aaron Paul, and Sahana Arun Kumar. Team A, your first question is, what is the motto of St. Ignatius of Loyola?
S2B.
Your answer is incorrect. Team A, your second question is, when is the feast of Francis Xavier celebrated?
3rd December.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, class 9C. Now I call upon participants of 9D, Shreyansh Sharma, Vinayak, and Chaitanya Moyal. Team A, your first question is, name Francis Xavier's mother.
Her mother's name was Dona Maria de Espiliosto Esnar.
Your answer is correct. Team A, your second question is, which subject did Francis Xavier teach?
Philosophy.
Your time is up.
Now we invite participants of class 9E, Jia Gupta, Aditya Singh, and Shelja Chaudhary. Team A, your first question is, in which battle Ignatius and Francis brothers were in opposite camps?
Is it the Battle of Pamplona?
Your answer is correct. Team A, your second question is, who announced the Ignatian year officially? Your time is up.
Thank you, class 9th E. I would now like to invite the participants of 9th F, Vidhi Setia, Pragya Vashisht, and Deepali Anand. Team A, your first question is, at what age did Francis Xavier die?
72.
Your answer is incorrect. Team A, your second question is, what is meant by the word Loyola? Your time is up. The word Loyola means the place of mud. God molded Inigo in a new vessel to bring glory to God. Thank you, class 9th F. This marks the end of the first round. Now let's proceed with the next round. The second round is words of wisdom. Each team will get 2 quotes said by St. Ignatius of Loyola or St. Francis Xavier. One participant from each team will have to say the word which is missing in the quote. Only one answer by each team will be taken. Any other answer except for the specific word will not be considered. Now I invite the participants of class 9A, Avni Gupta, Snigdha Bhadoria, and Archit Mathur. Team A, your first question is, pray as if dash will take care of all. Act as if all is up to you.
God,
God.
Your answer is correct. Team A, your second question is, he who carries God in his heart bears dash with him wherever he goes.
Goes.
Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, class 9A. Now we invite the participants of class 9B, Avika Singh, Shreya Singh, and Alona K. Biju. Team A, your first question is, it's not hard to dash when we love the one whom we obey. Your time is up. Team A, your second question is, the man who sets about making others better is wasting his time unless he begins with dash. Your time is up.
Thank you, Class 9B. I now invite the participants of Class 9C, Jatin Passi, Aaron Paul, and Sahana Arun Kumar. Team A, your first question is, if God makes you dash greatly, it is a sign that he wants to make you a great saint. Your time is up. Team A, your second question is, to conquer himself is the greatest dash that man can gain.
Pass.
Your time is up.
Thank you, Class 9C. Now I invite participants of Class 9D, Shreyansh Sharma, Vinayak, and Chaitanya Moyal. Team A, your first question is, be dash to the poor orphans and those in need. Your time is up. Team A, your second question is, finding God in all dash.
Human existence.
Human
Your-
existence.
Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, Class 9D. Now I call upon participants of Class 9th E, Jia Gupta, Aditya Singh, and Shailja Chaudhary. Team A, your first question is, go forth and set the dash on fire.
World.
Your answer is correct. Team A, your second question is, may God, our Lord, never let me harm anyone when I cannot dash him.
Find.
Your answer is incorrect.
Worship him.
Only the first answer will be taken.
Thank you, Class 9E. Now we invite participants of Class 9F, Vidhi Setya, Pragya Vashisht, and Dipali Anand. Team A, your first question is, whatever you are doing, that which makes you feel dash, that is where God is. Your time is up. Team A, your second question is, if you dash anything for tomorrow, do it today rather than put it off.
Leave.
Your answer is incorrect. Thank you, Class 9F. The second round is now complete. Now let's begin with the third round. Guess the year. Each team will be given two significant events in the life of St. Ignatius and St. Francis. Participants of the team will have to guess on which date it occurred. Only one answer will be taken from each team, and the answer must be spoken clearly. The participants must give the most accurate answer, or it will be taken as invalid. Now I invite the participants of Class 9A. Shaurya Chopra, Madhav Goel, and Rishi Kumar Agarwal. Team B, your first question is: in which year was Francis Xavier born?
7 April 1506.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is: in which year did Francis Xavier left his home for the first time?
1525.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, Class 9th A. I would now like to invite the participants of Class 9B, Navya, Shreyansh Jain, and Yash Gupta. Team B, your first question is: in which year did Francis Xavier begin his course in philosophy? Your answer is incorrect. Team B, your second question is: in which year did Francis Xavier die?
1552.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, Class 9B. Now I call upon the participants of Class 9C, Muhammad Abu Bakar, Kavish Sethi, and Aditya Mittal. Team B, your first question is: in which year did Francis Xavier take his vows of poverty and chastity?
1534.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is: in which year was Francis Xavier beatified?
1537.
Your answer is incorrect. Only the first answer will be considered.
Thank you, Class 9C. Now we invite the participants of Class 9D, Samkit Jain, Mohammad Azhan, and Shreya Jha. Team B, your first question is: in which year was Francis Xavier canonized?
1622.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is: in which year King Ferdinand ordered the Duke of Alba to enter and lay siege to Pamplona, the capital of Navarre?
1506.
Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, Class 9D. Now I invite the participants of Class 9E, Saloni Chauhan, Bhumika Chaudhary, and Harshit Chauhan. Team B, your first question is: in which year did Faber die? Your time is up. Team B, your second question is: in which year did Pope Paul III granted the Society of Jesus with his blessings and verbal approval?
1537.
Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, Class 9E. I now invite the participants of Class 9th F, Nitya Salanki, Priya Singh, and Hitesh. Team B, your first question is: in which year Ignatius took lodgings at St. Barbara's and was assigned a room with Francis, Faber, and Master Penha? Your time is up. Team B, your second question is, in which year Francis boarded a Royal Coromandel ship and sailed for Malacca?
1539.
Your answer is incorrect. We are now done with the third round. Now let us proceed with the last round. The fourth round is guess the authenticity. Each team will get 2 questions about St. Francis and St. Ignatius. One participant from each team will tell if the statement is true or not. Any other answer except for true or false will not be considered. Only one answer will be taken from each team. Now I invite the participants of class 9A, Shaurya Chopra, Madhav Goyal and Rishi Kumar Agarwal. Team B, your first question is, up till about the age of 30, Inigo de Loyola's main goal in life had been to achieve fame, either by exploits of the youthful daring or by a brave victory in battle when faced with overwhelming odds.
True.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is, Inigo was a professional soldier.
True.
Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, Class 9A. Now I call upon the participants of Class 9B, Navya, Shreyansh Jain, and Yash Gupta. Team B, your first question is, Inigo had a personal devotion to Saint Peter, and at Arevalo, he had written a poem in his honor.
True.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is, the book of spiritual exercises which Inigo wrote later was much influenced by the experience of reading Rudolph's Life of Christ.
True.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, Class 9B. Now we invite the participants of Class 9C, Muhammad Abu Bakar, Kavish Sethi, and Aditya Mittal. Team B, your first question is,
False.
Francis Xavier devoted much of his life to missions in Australia.
False.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is, Francis Xavier was known as the Apostle of the Indies and Japan.
True.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, Class 9C. Now I call upon the participants of Class 9D, Samkit Jain, Mohammad Azan, and Shreya Jha. Team D, your first question is, Saint Francis Xavier was born in 1500s.
True.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is, Saint Francis Xavier helped found the Franciscan Society.
False.
Your answer is correct.
Thank you, Class 9D. I now invite the participants of Class 9th E, Saloni Chauhan, Bhumika Chaudhary, and Harshit Chauhan. Team B, your first question is, Francis Xavier was from Portugal.
False.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is, Francis Xavier was born into a family of wealthy merchants.
True.
True. Your answer is incorrect.
Thank you, Class 9E. Now I would like to invite the participants of Class 9F, Nitya Solanki, Treya Singh, and Hitesh. Team B, your first question is, Francis Xavier did his schooling from Bologna.
False.
Your answer is correct. Team B, your second question is Ignatius Loyola lends the desperate Francis money when he runs out of funds.
False.
Your answer is incorrect. The fourth round has now ended. This marks the end of the competition. Before we proceed further with today's program, we would like to present before you a short video on the life of Saint Ignatius of Loyola and Saint Francis Xavier.
Inigo Lopez de Loya was born in a small town called Aspitia at the castle of Loyola in Spain. His parents, Don Beltran and Donna Marina, had a big family of 13 kids, of which Inigo was the youngest. Sadly, his mother Donna soon died after his birth, and a young Inigo was put in the care of Maria de Garden, the local blacksmith's wife, who brought him up. As young Inigo grew up, he developed a strong interest in military exercises and was driven by a desire for fame. He read stories of hero knights who conquered the enemies and received wealth and women. At just 17 years old, he joined the army, and at least according to one writer, he was a fancy dresser, an expert dancer, a womanizer, sensitive to insult, and a rough, punkish swordsman who used his privileged status to escape prosecution for violent crimes committed with his priest brother at carnival time. 1 year after joining the army, he took up arms for military leader Antonio Manrique. Inigo was good at what he did and what he had dreamed to be all his life, so much so that he earned himself the title Servant of the Court. He participated in many battles over 12 years, but in May 1521, at the Battle of Pamplona, this would be his last. He was severely injured when in battle. A cannonball ricketed off a nearby wall and shattered his right leg. Straight away, he underwent harsh and multiple surgeries to repair his leg, with his bones set and re-broken. After the operations, his right leg was left shorter than his left leg, resulting in a limp he would have for the rest of his life. This time was rough on Ignatius's body, but it transformed his spiritual life. He had no books on knights or romances to read during this time, so he moved his attention to religious texts on the life of Jesus and on the lives of the saints. These books slowly changed his desires away from battles, romance, and fame to a life of prayer, meditation, and penance. He discovered that his dream of romantic heroism would only leave him dissatisfied, but his goal of being a saint would bring him joy and peace. Once recovered from his harsh operations, he decided to change his entire life. He examined his past sins, confessed, gave away his opulent clothes to the poor he met, exchanged it for a garment of sackcloth, then he hung his sword and dagger at the Virgin's altar. He changed his way of life completely. He lived in a town called Montserrat for about a year, begging for his keep. For a couple of months, he spent much time praying in a cave nearby, doing penances, praying for 7 hours a day, and developing the fundamentals of his spiritual exercises. He then spent a number of years studying and growing his understanding in the faith. He went to the University of Paris, where he gained his magisterium at the age of 43, and it was here where Ignatius made two very important friendships: Francis Xavier and Peter Faber, two Portuguese students who would later become his close associates in helping him form the Jesuit order. In 1539, along with his two close friends, Ignatius formed the Society of Jesus, now known as the Jesuits, which was approved by Pope Paul III in 1540. Ignatius sent those in his order on missions across Europe to create schools, colleges, and seminaries. He wrote in a letter to Francis Xavier a Latin phrase, "Et inflammit omnia," meaning "go set the world on fire," and they did this with the growth of their order. The order stressed absolute self-denial and obedience to the Pope and to the superiors in the church hierarchy. This was summarized in the motto Perende ac Cadivia as if a dead body, complete self-denial. On the 31st of July 1556, Ignatius of Loyola's life on earth came to an end, probably a result of the Roman fever, but we are not certain on that. A man who originally wanted to follow his own desires for fame, for war, for fortune, for power, but in the end dedicated his life to God's, not his own will.
Now I would like to invite Kathy to present a vote of thanks.
It's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who worked hard to make this quiz happen. On behalf of everyone, we would like to thank our Reverend Dr. T.J. Jose S.J. for the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing up as a pillar of strength. We have been fortunate to be guided by our Vice Principal, Ms. Shobha Miranda. You have been a constant support and you have given us a lot of encouragement. Thank you, ma'am. My sincere thanks goes to Kate for her valuable insight and guidance. A special thanks to teacher in charge, Ms. McGregor and Ms. McTew, our MCs Nikshay and Snigdha, along with the EK team. Last but not the least, our participants who participated in today's quiz. Thank you all and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you, Kathy. Win as if you were used to it. Lose as if you enjoyed it for a change. With this thought, I now invite ma'am to address the audience and declare the results.
Very good afternoon to all of you. It was indeed a pleasure and such a thrilling experience for me to watch you all enjoy this quiz. Congratulations to all, first of all the participants who participated, because it was such a wonderful experience to see how all of you have learned about both the saints and how you have encouraged your teammates to answer all the questions. So winning and losing is just a part of the game, and I appreciate the hard work and the enthusiasm that each one of you have put to learn about the saints and then to give answers to the questions which were asked. So this quiz, I'm sure, has helped each one of you to learn a lot about Saint Francis Xavier and Saint Ignatius. May all of you be encouraged by the life of both these saints, and you learn to devote your life and be encouraged, for the greater glory of God. Now, without much delay, I would like to move on to the results, which I know that each one of you are eagerly waiting for. So I'll start with the third position. The third position is backed by class 9E. So congratulations to the participants of class 9B. Now let us move on to the second position. The second position is backed by not 1, 2, but 3 sections. All 3 of you have got the same, score. So the second position goes to class 9A, class 9C, and class 9D. And finally, the winners of today's competition, the first position. The first position is backed by class 9B. So congratulations to class 9B and all the other sections who have received their positions, all of the participants who have participated in it. I'll just repeat the result once again so that it's clear. First position 9B, second position 9A, 9C, and 9D, and third position is by class 9E. Congratulations to all of you. And I would also like to congratulate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome. So I would also like to please, congratulate these 2 wonderful quiz masters that we had, Niksha Sharma and Smita Bhatt. I think both of you did a wonderful job. You were really fantastic. Also, I would like to thank all the teachers all the fathers and, the EK team who helped us with the competition. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. Now I, Nikshay Sharma,
And I, Snigdha Bhatt,
would like to conclude by quoting the words of Saint Francis Xavier. No one can ever excel in great things who does not first excel in small. We would like to conclude today's program by congratulating all the participants for participating in this competition. We also thank you all for being such patient listeners and being a wonderful audience.
Before you all wind up, I just want to congratulate Divya and Shalini in particular, very well organized. It's not easy to put together questions and rounds, and I know a lot of hard work has gone into it. So we all deeply appreciate that. And having a topic of this sort, I think has really given all you youngsters a chance to know more about the life of Saint Ignatius. So thank you for having this show so well presented. And of course, the MCs were really good. All the participants also, congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.